What? Tuesday arvo, about 3 o'clock. It's winter now. Out on the trails. Woo. Okay, boring runner stats. 6.18k through the trails, 39 minutes 49 seconds. Average speed 6 minutes 25 seconds a kilometre. Yeah! Right, as touched on during the run, it's Tuesday. It's been a little tough to make videos lately. Wow, just the last week. The van's been broken down. It's not broken down now. It actually broke down 2 weeks ago after we came back from Whananaki. So that's all sorted. I'm just going to give you a rundown of what's been going on. Just going to go change and we'll get it underway. Okay, so in this video there's not a hell of a lot of action. We basically just spent the whole weekend working, really, and that was basically the gist of it. So one thing I am working on though is spear guns. So if you're into your spear guns and things like that, probably stick around for this little chat. If you're not, feel free to click off. Where I'm going to go with this is I'm making some changes, making some small changes and some updates. My gun, which is around here somewhere, where did I put it? Okay, right, so my gun here, which you've seen me using for a little while, Oroco stocked, and like a white, this was actually a carbon glass tape down the sides. Now this is sort of my preferred look and feel of the guns as to what I'm going to go for. They're still quite sleek for a wood gun. Now one thing that I've had several people say to me through time is that wood guns are too bulky and too heavy. These I feel would perform and feel very similar to just a normal sort of alley rail gun in the water. They are quite they're quite slick for a wood gun, and that was what I was going for. Like mine is a 110 and she moves through the water beautifully. You can see there's not a hell of a lot of bulk in them, but the carbon, I'm using carbon glass in all of them, but fiberglass strips down the sides makes for just huge durability and also quite a fair amount of customization when it comes to color. Like I'm going to do a couple with some like resin art and things down the sides, and basically just try to mix it up a little. Such as here with Kerry's gun. Now Kerry's gun's been worked on for a little while. It turns out moving house and workshops and getting a mortgage and all the shit like that is quite consuming, which I've just struggled to basically make anything in the last little while. But Kerry's gun is almost finished. I'm just waiting for some letter and number punches to turn up in the post, then I can kind of punch a couple things in that I want to and finish his gun. Now this is very similar to mine. This is going to be a 120. We're going to run a bigger shaft again. I've got a 7.5mm shaft of mine. He's probably going to run something similar. A couple of bigger bands like 216s on there. Trigger's not in yet obviously. And I've also made a little carbon glass block here which is going to go around the trigger. Now this is not going to go on everyone. This piece of material here is of course exceptionally strong. Still got to get glued and still got to get attached to his gun, but just something a little different, something I may experiment with in the future. I'm not too sure. So his gun is something we'll feature. I'll probably feature it on the main channel, a bit of a breakdown and sort of gun build. And that is of course Oroco stocked. The last bit of detailing with the guns is that I'm moving to use some New Zealand timbers. So I've got some Matai, which is New Zealand timber. This is what was recommended from the guy in the wood yard who's made spear guns before, so he sort of knows what he's doing. I'm getting to the point where I feel like I know what I'm doing. These, for the first little while I run out of the Oroco, I'm doing a Netai Oroco blend, so there'll be a little contrast in colours. You probably can't really tell on the camera too well, Netai and that's the Oroco, so there'll be more contrast in colour when the resin's down. I've been gluing them up like crazy, so I've got a few on the way, and I ideally would like to swap to a New Zealand made mech that's getting done here, but I think Duncan Henderson, so I'll be following that up shortly as well, because I would really like to make these as New Zealand as we can. So yeah, that's about it. I make a lot of stuff here. It's taken a little while to get this sort of workshop set up. It's still a long way from being set up how I like it, but of course making skimboards, got a few in stock, updating some fins, I've got a few pairs to make for the guys, and of course I'm just going to be gluing up and pumping out as many gun stocks through winter as I can, just they're all sitting there and ready to roll and shoot some fish. So of course if you are interested in the gun, these guns aren't cheap, they're not cheap at all, I don't intend for them to be cheap. Wood guns aren't cheap, so they're going to be priced for about 700 New Zealand dollars. Exceptional gun, exceptional mix, you won't have any issues with hardware on them, and I feel like I'm really starting to get there with that product. Certainly been the best move. Moving up here to the north has been probably the best thing I've done in my life. Just loving it to pieces so far. So I think we'll wrap it up there. I'm going to head away for a couple of days this weekend coming, so the next couple of vlogs should hopefully be a bit action packed. Stuff I haven't decided what we're doing yet, but we'll find something to do. Lastly, if you like your Thundercats, get onto the main channel, because I've just uploaded probably what is the best video all year from Raglan back in March. So there'll be a link up here, I think, with that showing right now. I'm Sam Price. I will see you at the beach.